Failure can be hard, sometimes even devastating. But if we look closely, failure can also be the very thing that strengthens us, guides us, and helps us grow. In Stoicism, a philosophy developed in ancient Greece and Rome, failure is not something to dread. It's a teacher, a stepping stone, and a force for resilience. Stoicism teaches us that failure doesn't define us, but can instead help us move toward success. By learning to embrace and understand failure, we can learn, grow, and build better lives. Lesson 1. Analyze what went wrong and learn from it. When we face failure, our first instinct may be to avoid thinking about it. We might feel shame, regret, or even a desire to run from our mistakes. However, Stoicism encourages a different response. The Stoic philosophers teach that we should take a step back, examine our actions, and understand where things went off track. This is not about blame or guilt, but about gaining knowledge and insight. Begin by asking yourself questions. Why did this happen? Was it due to something you overlooked? Was there a weakness in your approach? Reflect on every aspect of the experience. Maybe the failure was due to a lack of preparation, or perhaps external factors played a role. Analyzing these details can help us see patterns and understand the root causes of failure. When you take time to analyze, you also start building resilience. You're no longer a passive victim of circumstance. Instead, you become a student of life, someone who is actively learning and improving. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." By focusing on the lessons of today, even when they are painful, we make the best use of every moment. So, take time to analyze what went wrong, write it down if needed, and find specific insights. This way, every failure becomes a valuable teacher. You're not just moving on, you're moving forward, equipped with greater knowledge and wisdom. Lesson 2. View failure as a chance to grow. Failure can feel like a wall, something that stops us. But in Stoicism, failure is not a stopping point. It's an invitation to grow. The Stoics believe that every challenge, setback, or failure can lead us to a better version of ourselves if we are open to the experience. Growth happens when we accept the discomfort that failure brings. Instead of dwelling on the loss or allowing frustration to take over, the Stoic approach is to see each failure as an opportunity for self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that whatever challenges us can ultimately make us stronger if we embrace it. To practice this mindset, look at your failure and ask, how can I use this experience to become better? What qualities or skills can I develop because of this experience? It could be patience, persistence, or a new approach to problem solving. Failure can reveal what we lack and show us where we can grow. Remember, every time you grow from failure, you're moving closer to success. The world's greatest successes, from inventors to leaders, are often built on a foundation of failures. When we see failure as growth, it loses its power to hold us back and becomes fuel that propels us forward. Lesson 3. Keep going despite setbacks. One of the key lessons in Stoicism is perseverance, the ability to keep moving forward, even when times are tough. Setbacks and failures are natural parts of any journey. The Stoics believe that true strength is shown not in never failing, but in getting up and trying again after every fall. Imagine life as a long road, full of obstacles and challenges. Each failure is like a bump in the road. It might slow you down, but it doesn't have to stop you. Stoicism encourages us to stay focused on our goals, keep our determination strong, and continue moving forward despite these obstacles. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, famously taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Each time you experience a setback, take a breath and remind yourself of your purpose. Focus on what you're working toward and stay committed to it. Let go of the fear of failure and focus instead on the action you need to take. Resilience isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing difficulties with courage and using each challenge to build strength. When you keep going despite setbacks, you're training your mind to handle challenges better in the future. You're building a powerful mindset, one that won't give up easily. And in the long run, this mindset will lead you to greater success. Lesson 4. Set new and achievable goals. When failure happens, it's easy to feel lost or discouraged. But instead of giving up, this is the perfect moment to reassess and set new, achievable goals. The Stoics believed in breaking down big dreams into small, manageable steps. This makes it easier to make progress and prevents feelings of overwhelm. After a failure, take a moment to reset. Reflect on your previous goals and consider if they were realistic. Were they too ambitious, or did they lack clarity? Adjust them if needed. This is not about lowering your standards, but about making sure your goals are well-defined and reachable. Start by setting short-term goals. If your original goal was to start a business, break it down into smaller steps. Maybe the first goal can be researching your market, followed by building a basic product. These smaller goals provide clear direction and give you a sense of accomplishment as you achieve them one by one. The Stoics taught us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what isn't. Setting achievable goals is one way to practice this. You cannot control all outcomes, but you can control your actions and efforts. When you set smaller, attainable goals, you build momentum. Each small success brings you closer to your larger goal and keeps you moving forward. Lesson 5. Ask for constructive feedback. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools for growth, yet it can be one of the hardest things to ask for, especially after a failure. It requires humility and an open mind, but Stoicism encourages us to be open to different perspectives and to learn from those around us. When you seek constructive feedback, you're showing a willingness to improve. This is a Stoic virtue known as prohairesis, the ability to choose your response and pursue growth. By asking for feedback, you're not just accepting failure. You're actively using it as a learning tool. Find people you trust, mentors, friends, or colleagues, and ask them for their honest input. Be specific. Ask them to point out areas for improvement and to suggest ways you can do better next time. Listen with an open heart without letting ego get in the way. Remember, constructive feedback is not criticism, it's guidance. The Stoics believed in lifelong learning, and feedback is an essential part of that process. Every piece of feedback you receive, whether it's big or small, is a step toward becoming better. Each insight is another tool in your arsenal. When you embrace feedback, you're no longer fearing failure. Instead, you're using it to build yourself up, one lesson at a time. Lesson 6. Celebrate your effort, even in failure. Often, we only celebrate when we achieve big successes, but Stoicism teaches us to appreciate the effort, regardless of the outcome. Every step you take, every attempt you make, is worth acknowledging. Effort itself is a valuable achievement, and by recognizing it, you cultivate a sense of progress and self-respect. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This means that our efforts are within our control, but the final outcome often isn't. Therefore, celebrating the hard work, dedication, and resilience you've shown is important, even if things didn't go as planned. Take a moment to appreciate the journey, the things you learned along the way, and the courage it took to try. Recognize the skills you developed, the discipline you practiced, and the improvements you made. By focusing on your efforts, you shift your mind from failure as a loss to failure as part of growth. Each time you celebrate effort, you're building a positive, resilient mindset. You're training yourself to find joy and satisfaction in the process, not just in the results. And when you enjoy the journey, you're more likely to persevere and eventually reach your goals. Lesson 7. Maintain a positive attitude. A positive attitude can be one of the most powerful tools in facing failure. Stoicism teaches that we have the ability to choose our mindset, no matter what happens. We cannot always control the events around us, but we can control our thoughts and attitudes. This is a core Stoic principle. Instead of allowing failure to bring you down, choose to see it as a stepping stone. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By maintaining a positive attitude, you open yourself to new opportunities, ideas, and solutions. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. It means choosing hope over despair, courage over fear. Practice gratitude. Even in difficult times, there are always things to be grateful for. Reflect on what you still have and the lessons you've gained. Positivity is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about accepting challenges while believing in your ability to overcome them. A positive attitude will make it easier to bounce back from failure. It creates a foundation of resilience and inner strength. When you see setbacks as temporary and believe in your capacity to overcome them, you're well on your way to turning failure into fuel for success. Failure is not the end. It's simply a part of the journey. Stoicism teaches us that setbacks are opportunities in disguise, chances to learn, grow, and become stronger. By analyzing what went wrong, embracing failure as a chance for growth, pushing forward, setting new goals, seeking feedback, celebrating our efforts, and maintaining a positive outlook, we can transform failure into a powerful tool for success. Remember, every great achievement is often built on a foundation of failures. With each step, each lesson, and each bit of progress, you are shaping a future filled with resilience, wisdom, and success.